Hey there. Let me see if I can move this. I don't think I can. It's really in a bad spot. Um, Geometry, Unit 1, Lesson 10. So lessons 1 through 9 we talked about constructions. Lessons 10 and on talk about transformations. There are 3 different types of transformations. A translation, which we call a slide. A reflection, like a mirror, and a rotation, which is a turn. Okay, so let's first just start on this. What do you notice and wonder about these shapes? I mean, if I just look at it, let's see what we can do here. Drawing. So here I've got S. It's not my drawing. So figure S. I see that that looks like a reflection over line M to get to figure M. Okay, where we would actually call M our image and figure S our pre-image. And that looks like a reflection, like I said. Yeah, a reflection. I also noticed that all the segments, like AB is the same length as AB. So A prime, B prime, same length as AB. AD is the same length as A prime, D prime, etc. Okay, those are all the same measurement of segments. And then if I compared some of these angles, they would all be the same also. So what do I notice and wonder? I notice that S and M, figure S and M are congruent. It's a reflection. What else? They're parallelograms, lots of parallelograms. I look at S and D and I see that they're not congruent and I wonder about that. I notice that CD is 1 sort of unit long where GH is 2. Same with this. CB is 2 units long where GF is 4. I wonder about that. We would call these things similar, not congruent, which is different. Okay. This was supposed to all go away. I'm going to push pause and erase this. I've already recorded this once and then my computer froze and shut down, so I had to start it again. So yeah, what's the same? So here is just, you've got that warm-up problem 10.1 and we're comparing it. So here I can see that it's a reflection. When I count it, I really started going like this, like 1, 2, 1, 2 for B to B prime, where the curriculum goes straight across. And you can see this is kind of like rise over run for slope, right? Or change in Y over change in X, how we learned slope. So we see that I can go like sort of 2 units over and 2 units over on the diagonal to get from C to C prime, where this is my image and this is my pre-image. And M is my line of reflection. Okay, what else do I want to tell you? For a line of reflection, that just means that every point of the figure ends up on the other side of the line of reflection and the same distance from the line. Okay, so every point ends up on the other side of the line of reflection the same distance from the line. Cool? All right, let's move on. Hold on. Let me delete all that. Be right back. And this is probably good that I had to redo this part because I made a mistake the first time I reported it. So here, if I look at your classwork, it says draw each rigid transformation in a different color. I'm going to actually go over to your electronic textbook and draw it in here. All right. So I'm going to reflect each point because I just told you that reflection is every point of the figure ends up on the other side of the line of reflection, the same distance from the line. So I'm going to go ahead and try to reflect each point by using GeoGebra. And I can take, so this first one says to translate figure S along the line segment V in the direction shown by the arrow. V is actually a ray, it's a vector. A vector is a certain length of a ray. It has a start point and an end point. That means I need to take every point here and move it like 2 diagonal to a new point. So I'm going to have a new point here. So I'm just putting points. So I go 1, 2. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Nope, I still need 1, 2 because that's the vector. 2, 2, right? Everything's 2. 1, 2. And 1, 2. So now I'm going to connect this in my polygon. I don't know where the polygon's going to be. I'm not using these reflection tools yet. All right, I'm going to go ahead and connect. Oh, I need segments. Dang it. All right. So what we have here is I just translated everything, right? I did a translation of 2 units in that direction. Now watch. If we take this tool here, which is called Translate by Vector, it says to select the object to translate and then the vector. There's my object, there's my vector. And it showed up in all of those points. Yay! All right, the next thing says to reflect figure S across line Y. So I'm going to do it by hand first. So I'm figure S again, and line Y is there. So I'm going to take each point, 1 and a half, and 1, and reflect it across. 1 and a half, and 1. 1, 2 and a half, 1, 2. So I'm just counting. We already did that one. 1, 2, 1, 2. And 1, 2 and a half, 1, 2. So we see our new shape right here. Oh, I didn't do this point. Let's find it. Right there. 1, 2, 1, 2. So now if I reflect this, it should end up on those points. So right here is my tool, which is reflect across the line. It says select object to reflect and then the line of reflection. Object, line, and it shows up there. Woohoo, we did it right. I'm not changing the color here, but it's okay. We're doing it one piece at a time. Now we're going to reflect a figure S across line M. There is line M. Okay, this one's a tad bit more difficult because it's that angle. So if I take everything and reflect it, I'm 2, 2. Okay, I can also go 1, 1. Okay, here we're going 1, 1. We're going across line M. See, I have a hard time with the diagonals. So 2. Nope, I have to go diagonal. So here I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I count until I hit line M. I think I already did this one. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I didn't. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see if I have enough points. Yep, I think I got them all. So let's go ahead and see if it worked. I'm going to reflect this figure across that line. Nope. That didn't work. I'm going to reflect this figure across that line. There we go. And it plopped right into place. Cool. Now translate the figure S along the line segment W in the direction shown by the arrow. And then reflect this image across line Y. So we're taking figure S and we're going to translate it which is a slide. It's just sliding along that distance, and it ends up there. So it slid. So this is a thing of, yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units in that direction. So if I check it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. Now it wants me actually to reflect this across line Y. So I'm going to hit the reflect button. This across line Y. So it should actually stay touching line Y, just the other direction. There it is. Okay, so this is my final image. So much easier in GeoGebra, but you really need to know how to do it by hand too. All right, now the last thing in this lesson, does order matter? Here's an applet with 3 congruent shapes. Now it says, describe a sequence of transformations that will take figure A onto figure B. I want to move this down there and change how it looks. So I know, actually, let's go over here. Oh, everything's all written there. Okay, never mind. Let's go back over here. If I take this, can I draw on this now? Oh, yeah. So if I would like to draw a vector, I need to translate A to match up with B. So if I took this point and put it there, that means I could translate figure A to here along this directional line. So now let's go ahead and use the tool for, there we go, figure A along this vector. It didn't work. I need to draw a vector first. Okay, my funny pen's not working very well. So let's go ahead and use the old school. So there's my vector. Now let's go ahead and translate by vector. So select the figure and then select the vector. There we go. Not right there. I'm not there though yet, am I? Okay, I still have to do one other thing. I need to reflect it. And I need to reflect it along a line. So let me draw on a line. Now I should be able to reflect this figure over that line. And we made it. All right, so first I translated it, then I reflected it. Now let's start this whole thing over again. What if I want to do that in a different order? What if I want to reflect it first and then translate it? 2, 3, 4. I need to draw a line along here. Let's see if I can reflect it first and then translate it. But I need a vector to translate it. I just want to move it over 1, 2, 3. So anything 1, 2, 3 units long will work. So now let's do that. Translation, this figure along that vector, and it worked. Yay! Okay, let's reset all that. So it didn't matter what order I did it in, right? Now I want to put A onto C. A onto C was a little harder for me to figure out. Let's draw a vector first. Really, if I move this point to there, I think it's going to work. Translation, A on that vector. Yeah. Now I can reflect it over a line I have not drawn yet. I can reflect it over that line. And we're good. And again, I can translate it first, then reflect it, or I can reflect it first and then translate it. Okay, either way works. And I think that was it for today's lesson. Yes. All right, you have printed off summaries. So here's your summary and your glossary. We have a few extra things added to the glossary. Actually, your glossary has started over from lessons 1 through 9. Okay, so everything is here for you as a reminder, and Using the words we've used, we defined image, we defined rigid transformation. I didn't use the word rigid in the lesson, but rigid just makes sure that the measurements don't change. The segment measurements and the angle measurements don't change. That's rigid. Rigid is like something that's unmovable. I can slide it, I can reflect it, but I can't change it any. Okay? That's it for today. Good job.